All right, so follow along with me. We are going to begin day one of typing our research essay. And the very first thing we're going to do is format our paper. So we've opened a brand new Google document. We always want to make sure we title our document right away. So I'm going to title mine Robin Lakoff Research Essay. Bam, there we go. At the very top, we put our name, your teacher's name, the class, and then the date. And it's usually the date that it's due. So I'm just going to say 15 February. There's an extra R in there, 2015. Everything in our paper is double spaced, so we go ahead and highlight and hit double. It's the little tiny arrow thingy on the top bar, double. So that'll double space everything from here on out. And then we're also going to insert a little header at the very top. So to do that, we do insert page number, top of page, and then we want our last name in front of that number. So move the cursor and then hit one space, and there you go. Every subsequent page will continue to number. So we always start our essay with an interesting title. And I'm actually going to cheat a little bit. I pre-wrote this essay, and just for the sake of time, I'm going to kind of grab stuff from my other paper. So you want your leader's name in your title, and you want to say something interesting about why your person is a leader. So I said Robin Lakoff, colon, a modern feminist sociolinguistic leader. That's kind of a mouthful there, but that's what I really think about her. So we center your title, and then we go back to the left alignment. There we go. And then we just picked up a handout when we came into the room, and we did some writing. And so I'm going to go back to my handout, a picture of my handout, and this was my pre-write where I brainstormed a hook. 3 more sentences for my introduction that kind of lead into my thesis statement, and then my actual thesis statement with the 3 main points in the order I'm going to talk about them in my paper. So like I said, I did a little pre-writing, so I'm going to go back and actually grab my introduction, and I'll read it to you and pop that in here. So we always indent, and we hit the tab key to indent our essay. In my essay, I have my hook. I'm just going to highlight that so you can see it. And you always start your essay off with a hook or a sentence that's going to grab people's attention. It could be a question. It could be a really cool quotation. It could be just something really interesting. So I started out with Robin Lakoff made history in 1974 with the publication of her book, Language and Women's Place. And then you have several sentences, at least 3, that are maybe explaining your hook and leading into your actual thesis statement. So after my hook, I said, before this text was published, gender and its impact on language, how we speak, and how we conceptualize the world was not recognized as a formal field of linguistic study. There's one sentence. My second sentence says, Lakoff identified verbal and written shifts that are found in women's language. Some of these phrases cause women to sound less authoritative than men. And look, I'm joining 2 sentences with a semicolon. How fancy is that? Okay, here's my third sentence. Why is this important? I have a 4th sentence that says, sounding less authoritative contributes to being treated in a lesser manner. And I actually have a 5th sentence in here that says, language shapes our reality and can perpetuate inequality. And here is my thesis statements. This is where it's at. So I'm going to highlight that again. And again, back to the graphic organizer, you compose your thesis statement in the order that you're going to actually talk about your 3 main points in your essay. So my first main point will be my first body paragraph. My second main point will be my second body paragraph. My third point will be my third body paragraph. So I said Robin Lakoff is a leader because she established modern feminist sociolinguistics. That's my first main point. She is an activist, second main point, and she is a phenomenal educator. There you go. That is a pretty solid, good introductory paragraph. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do is we've been researching, we did general Google searches, evaluating sources using the ABC process. And then last class, we actually found sources within the databases. And so wherever you saved all of your sources, and here's a list of all of my sources, you are going to go grab them from wherever you saved them, and I'm going to show you how to format them. Okay, so I have all of my sources here. They're all just left justified right now. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy them and move them over to my sample essay. And we are going to format our Works Cited page right now because as you are using sources and citing them throughout your essay, you need to know the correct way to cite them. So you don't have to start a brand new page for your Works Cited entry. It's just on the last page of your essay, and if it doesn't all fit, then you start a new page. But we can all just go ahead and type the word centered, works with an S, cited, and go back to left alignment once you type that. And then I'm going to go ahead and just plop all my sources in there. And again, we cited everything using EasyBib. When we used the databases, the citations were done for us. And then I've actually, like, as I was pasting my sources onto my document, I made sure that they were in alphabetical order, which is the correct way to organize your works cited entries. So to get the hanging indentation, which allows you to actually see each source more clearly, you're going to go ahead and highlight all of your sources. And then up at the top, we have this little tiny button here. And we're going to grab it on the bottom arrow and drag it into the half-inch mark there on the toolbar. And then we're going to go ahead and grab the top arrow, or top little box, and drag it back. And what that is going to do is it's going to make the first line of each citation stand out so you can actually see what's going on. Okay, and as we are composing our essay and we want to cite stuff from sources, you cite whatever is hanging out on this left-hand margin. Okay, we cite, the thing that goes inside of the parenthetical citation is pointing to the actual source that you are citing. So if I wanted to say, if I found something cool or a piece of information from this article, I'm actually going to put Cameron in my parenthetical citation inside of my essay. And usually we do author page style, but this is a actually we do have page numbers. So I would cite Cameron space and then whatever page it came from that source. If I wanted to cite this source by Robin Lakoff, I would cite Robin and whatever page from this scholarly article it came from. And then another thing I want to point out is that I have 1, 2, 3 pieces of information or resources written by Robin Lakoff. So to distinguish within my essay which one it is, I'm going to have to say, you always just borrow a chunk of the title. And so I would say like I would say Lakoff. Maybe I would shorten it to, or I could just use the whole title, Language and the Women's Place, space, and then the page. You always, so this one may be Lakoff, talking like a lady. And I should have page numbers in there somewhere. Okay. And then if it's a web source, you don't have page numbers. And this one down here is a web source. So I'm just going to cite the next thing that's bumped up out on the left-hand margin, and I'm not including a page number because there isn't one. Okay, and so once we finish our introduction and our works cited entries, then the very last thing that we're going to do is copy both our introduction, and I want to see your entire works cited. And remember, bare minimum is 3 sources. Honor students, you should have at least 5 sources. You're going to copy and paste both of them into the Google form that I sent you, And your exit ticket out the door is we'll see everybody's introduction and works cited entries scrolling in on this sheet so I can check in with everybody. All right, thanks so much.